What's that weird sound coming out of the car? Is that engine broken? Why's that fire coming out? Well, what if I tell you that's for serious performance improvement? But how can that broken sound of engine and some fire improve the performance of the car? Let's untangle in this video. As we learned about turbos in our last video, they are marvelous machines. It puts in compressed air into your engine to get more power out of it. As it gives more power, it is a must-have in a recipe of great race car. Turbo compresses air by spinning the compressor wheel. So, it's centrifugal compressor. As other centrifugal machine, it too does not work on low revs because that speed is not sufficient enough for it to compress the air. The RPM of the compressor wheel is completely dependent upon how fast the turbine wheel rotates. And the spin of the turbine wheel is completely dependent upon how much exhaust engine produces. When engine is running at low RPM, it doesn't produce enough gases so that the turbo gets pulled up. Hence, when the engine is running at low RPM, it doesn't produce enough exhaust gases. So, the turbo also revs low. Hence, you don't get boost at that time. When you accelerate the engine, as the turbo is not spooled up, hence, acceleration is not so good. But as the engine revs up and produces sufficient exhaust gases, the turbo speeds up and gives you the turbo boost, above which the accelerations are just heaven. The time required for turbo to spool up after you press the throttle is called as turbo lag, because it lags to give performance at that time. Race cars rev down only for one reason on track, that is, to take sharp turns. Once turn is done, driver wants an instant acceleration to get back to his speed. But if due to the deceleration before taking the turn has revved down the turbo speed, then he has to face turbo lag, which means the instant turbo boost which he requires after taking the turn to accelerate the car faster is not what he gets. To solve this problem of turbo lag comes anti-lag. Yes, the broken sound of the engine and the firework you see. It does three simple things. First, it puts rich air-fuel mixture into the engine, even when the throttle is decreased. It retards the ignition timing as late as possible and maintains valve timing as same. What all this does is, engine gets sufficient air with plenty of fuel at suction stroke. Then the air gets compressed as usual. Then the ignition which generally starts here is delayed as late as possible and is started around here. As the mixture starts burning, it makes some pressure in the combustion chamber, which is sufficient to maintain engine at idle. Idle means making power just enough to run itself. As the exhaust valve opens at regular timing, this hot burning and expanding gases which are not yet completely combusted and are still hot and expanding leak out of the combustion chamber from the engine's exhaust and get into the turbocharger. As they are expanding and are at very high speed, the turbo gets spooled up and it speeds very high. Then this burning gas leaves the turbocharger, get into the exhaust system and comes out of the car. This sound of combustion is what we feel like an broken engine sound. And sometimes when the fuel is still combusting, you see that fire. As driver completes the turn, he puts back his foot on throttle. And now he has an already spooled up turbo which is revving high and ready to give an instant boost which the driver requires. So I said it's for serious performance improvement, as even a millisecond in a race matters a lot. If you learned something new, check out other videos on our channel and subscribe for the new ones. Also make sure you hit the like button. If having any questions, feel free to mention them down in the comment section below. As of for now, I'm signing off and see you guys next week.